You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
We are live at Boom Bah's. Welcome in the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview. Chris LeBar along with former New Albany and Providence head coach Andrew Grant's Todd Carter joins us. Andrew, best time of the year with basketball season right around the corner.
The leaves start to change colors and you start getting excited for the round ball to come out.
Todd, as we bring you in, let's talk about a couple of storylines this year for girls high school basketball.
Well, let's see. Storylines for girls high school basketball. We have some new coaches in the area, so that's certainly interesting and will be a storyline. We've got some teams with a lot of returning starters, and so see how tough they are, because they may be really tough. And we've got some schools at all different levels, 1A on up, that may make some distance in the tournament and may make a run. So all those are certainly compelling storylines for the 2024-25 season.
Todd, you mentioned head coaches, and let's bring in our first head coach, Providence girls' first-year head coach, Stacy Pendleton. Stacy, certainly you're very well thought of, a lengthy career. What brought you back to the game?
So, I think it was a couple of things that worked out. It was proximity and timing. I had retired from teaching in Jefferson County, and I thought I was just going to kind of chill and be a dad and hang out and take McKenna, my daughter's a sophomore, back and forth. And then the Providence job came open, and I kind of explored that as an option for her to come to school there and for me to get back into it 9 months after retirement. So it's been a blessing in many ways in that it's just such a wonderful place, and my daughter loves it. So it's just been a huge blessing for us.
You're succeeding a fine coach in his own right. Brad Borden was there 16 years. What are you inheriting as you take over this job?
So, well, I mean, as luck would have it, we're not, we're kind of rebuilding in sorts, but because the couple of starters from last year, they moved with their dad. His dad got an athletic director's job, so they're a different school. And then in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we had a couple starters with knee injuries. So Livy Theobald and Kaya Kaler are both out for 7 or 8 months. So that puts us a little bit in a rebuilding mode. But from what I've seen on film and what I've seen with the kids, we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Well, my thought would be as far as rebuilding and just what kind of style and how is this team going to play? What's it going to look like? What's Providence girls basketball going to look like this season?
So I mean, we kind of have, my teams have always had a mantra: play hard, play smart, and play together.
Right.
So right now we're really working hard to bottom line just play hard, and now we're working on a lot of fundamental things. I haven't got a lot of kids out yet, so I'm working with a lot of my JV kids, and
sure.
It's been I told them when I left today, I said, this has been very valuable for you guys, and it's been refreshing for me, but as far as style goes, I mean, my teams have always pushed the ball pretty effectively,
yep,
offensively, because you have to rebound well to do that. So we've really been focusing a lot on rebounding, attack the basket. We want to press on offense. Defensively, right now I'm just trying to teach them how to play solid man-to-man. That will not be all we play. We'll play some aggressive trapping zones and switching zones. So to answer your question, I think the fans will like watching us play. There's no wrong play as long as they're playing hard, in my opinion. So we're going to make a lot of mistakes, and we're going to make up for a lot of those mistakes with just getting in their people's face and playing hard, I hope.
Stacy, in over 21 years, 462 wins. What's left for you from a career standpoint?
Well, I mean, I won one in Kentucky. Let's win one in Indiana. I mean, I've always, this has kind of rejuvenated me, and that I'm thinking, okay, that when I took the job, I thought there's enough there to compete at that level. So that's what I want. Every year, you want to strive to be the best you can be. I'm a teacher. I love teaching. I love teaching the game. And most importantly, I love being around the players 90% of the time. I just love being around them. So what's left for me is there's a lot left for me. I mean, I'm 56. I'm an old retired guy, but I don't feel like one. So, I mean, I think I've got a lot of wins left under my belt, and I've got a whole lot left in me. So there's a lot left for me.
We're just getting started. We're live at Boom Boss and Jeff. Up next, we'll chat more with head coach Pendleton, also chat with a couple of his players as well. Thanks for watching the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview from Glycod.
This second shift. This old pair of pants. This staycation. This brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer.
Looking for a career instead of a job? Want to make a difference in a child's life? Community Action of Southern Indiana's Head Start program is now hiring. They offer competitive wages, plus health, dental, and life insurance, as well as paid college tuition and retirement plans. Apply online through Indeed.com or email your resume. You can make a difference in a child's life. Community Action of Southern Indiana and Head Start, serving children and families for over 60 years.
For the area's best pre-owned vehicle prices and selection, visit Jim Butner Auto Group. Since 1955, the Jim Butner family has been Southern Indiana's top choice for reliable, trustworthy, and exceptional service. Enjoy fast and easy financing, no matter your credit history. Visit JimButnerAuto.com or stop by our showroom at 125 West Lewis and Clark Parkway in Clarksville. Discover why Jim Butner Auto Group is striving to serve you better every day. Jim Butner Auto Group, your hometown family dealership since 1955.
You're busy, always on the go, and when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family-owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Welcome back to Boom Boss. Just getting started, the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview. Andrew Grant's former Providence coach, now with a question for the current girls coach, Stacy.
Yeah, Coach, so my question for you, talked about how you're going to play this first year, but when the year's said and done, what does success look like for you in this first year? As you've lost a few players and you have some players out with injury, so as you look back on the season, what are those markers that you're looking for throughout the year that define success for your program?
Well, I think, obviously that's a moving scale, or what success is, and to me, success is that we get better, that I help individuals get better, help them become the best person they can be. I think that's a Ted Lasso quote. But that's the main objective. I mean, if you go into a season saying, we got to win 20 games, we got to do this and this, you're probably going to focus on that instead of focusing on doing the little things. So, I mean, I'm having a difficult time really telling you where we're at. Obviously, I think by the end of January, if we establishing, good positive culture, getting them playing hard, we got a shot at the sectional title. And I mean, that's what we're vying for. So we're shooting every day for the postseason and trying to get there when it matters most.
Well, and speaking of Ted Lasso, which means soccer, let's we're going to bring in Brooklyn and Molly, and they are Providence basketball players. But also, you guys, there's a game going on later on this week. So why don't you tell everybody? I know this is the girls' high school basketball preview show. So I'm going to ask Brooklyn, what game's going on later this week?
The state finals for 1A for our girls' soccer team.
All right, and both of you play.
Yes, yeah, we both play.
All right, and some of your other teammates who will transition into basketball play as well?
Yes, we have obviously me and Brooklyn, and then McKenna, which is Coach's daughter, and Libby Theobald, and Addie Magruder, Camden Pierce. Yeah, there's a lot of us.
Quite a few. Well, so you guys are focusing on that this week, and then it's going to be a bit of a quick change then getting into basketball, right? You've done this before. So, Brooklyn, I'll ask you, what's that like switching up from soccer to basketball?
Really, I think it's just getting back into basketball shape. I mean, soccer shape and basketball shape are two very different things. So really just that transition is the big thing for me personally, but I think it's not too bad.
So it's something obviously you've done before, you can handle? Okay. Coach, you have a question?
So I'm a 2007 graduate of Providence. Whenever I graduated from Providence, we had never won a state championship in any sport. That has changed tremendously here in recent years. Can both of you all just speak a little bit just about the culture, or as we say at Providence, the blue pride, and just talk about how that carries over from a sport like soccer to basketball to all other sports that have seen that postseason success here in recent years?
Yeah, culture is just something that we really focus on in all of our sports, and having so many kids that are dual sport athletes that like transition together, it just really helps the culture out a lot, and just having that connectivity and just transitioning together is what makes the Blue Pride really there. Yeah.
I think for me, really, the community at Providence, like, you go to your games, you see all your teachers in the stands, you see, like, the other teams, like the boys soccer team comes to a lot of our games. So it's really just, like, supporting each other is really important at Providence.
Molly and Brooklyn, in your short time, describe playing for Coach Pendleton. What's he like?
I mean, we all love him. He's really enthusiastic coach. He always pushes us to be our best and keep our energy up while just also all supporting each other, and we just really like him and really looking forward to the season with him.
Yeah, I thought this summer was definitely one of my favorite summers so far for summer basketball. We really had a lot of fun and grew closer as a team, and we did some fun things like go to Holiday World. That was an adventure for sure. And then we went up to Indianapolis and spent the night up there a little bit, and that was fun too.
Coach, as you get set for yet another season, what's it like to get back in the game?
I'm very excited about it. You know, it hasn't been long since I've been out. You know, I'm really focused on establishing positive culture. You know, I'm here for the long run. So, you know, you gotta lay the foundation, and that's incredibly fun right now for me, because these kids deserve it. I mean, these two over here, they're very humble. We have the starting goalie, and we have a stud soccer player. She's already signed with Colgate, and I mean, she is amazing. You should have seen her in the last game. I'm sitting up there, I'm with my mouth open. I'm so in awe of how well she's playing. So, I mean, I'm just really excited that we're going to get a state championship. I'm gonna have like 5 state champions on my basketball team in about a week.
Did you think you'd get back in the game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it would be this quick, because, I mean, I had already settled in that because everything was about McKenna, my daughter, and I wasn't going to make any moves to disrupt her. So, like I started to say earlier, when Providence opened up, McKenna shadowed, and I told him when I interviewed, I said, if she's in, I'm in, you know, and she loved it. So, and loves the soccer team. So here we are. So I'm back in it quickly. So, yeah, I thought I would get back in it. I'm a coach, man. I don't play golf. I don't do anything else. I coach.
Well, you can broadcast like Coach Grant's when you do hang it up.
I got a face for radio, too, huh?
Coach, thanks for stopping by. All the best to you this year.
Thank you.
Head Coach Pendleton, we thank him for joining us. Also, thank you to Brooklyn Schneider and Molly Richards, a pair of Providence players as well. We'll take one more timeout. Back with our next head coach. Just getting started, the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview. We'll be right back after this.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
You cannot depend on Carl to make peace with his seatbelt. Or on Beth to choose the best meal to go.
Is that soup?
Or on Stephanie's perfect parking spot to stay perfect. But you can depend on their car starting because they have Interstate batteries. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
This is what excellence in construction looks like. It's a startup company that launched in 1980 under the leadership of a husband and wife team who had a vision for growing something great, the American dream. It's two sons who have worked hard and earned the opportunity to carry on the legacy from the ground up. It's nearly 300 employees with common culture and commitment to construction. Some of the region's most visible and ambitious projects with the same heart, passion, and drive. It's our experience, our innovation, our reputation, and core values that set us apart. Mack Construction. This is what excellence looks like.
At German American Bank, our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Flycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Flycon.
And back live at the Boombahs establishment here in Jeff. We welcome you back to the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview. Chris Labar, Andrew Grants, Todd Carter stationed as well. We'll welcome in Christian Academy girls basketball coach Carson Casey. She will join us in just a moment. And Coach, thanks for stopping by. What are you most looking forward to this year?
I'm really just looking forward to building on what we did last year. So we have all of our starters back. And so we lost our 6-man, which will hurt us, but just to have that core group back again, to keep building on that, that's a blessing that not a lot of coaches probably get to experience. We were young in some areas last year, and we grew through that, and now we can pick up where we left off. So I'm really excited to see how we've matured and how we'll kind of build on what we did last year.
Well, we were just visited by some folks from Providence. They have some girls that are going to the girls' state championship in soccer, and so you've got a bunch of players that are still playing volleyball. So how does that transition? How do you expect that transition to occur?
Yeah, it's been interesting because this is the first, since I've been here, this is at Christian Academy, it's the first year that they've had some postseason success. They had several years ago with Allie Stumler. They had lots of success, so that coach kind of got to experience that. This is my first go at it. So the first 2 weeks have been a lot different than they normally have. Those foundational first 2 weeks have been a little different, but I was telling my assistant coaches, it's kind of been a blessing in disguise for those other kids who maybe don't see as many minutes, or we might need them to step up a little bit. They've been getting different reps and different looks at things that they might not always get when those other girls are there. So hopefully in the end it'll be a blessing and they've learned some things they might not have learned had those other girls been there. But, well, it's a long season, so we'll catch back up. But right now it has been interesting for sure.
So over the last 4 years, your teams have increased their win output every year and offensive output every year, but the defense has really remained very steady, very solid, especially early on in the year here. And once you get those players back, where is the focus? Is it to continue to increase the offensive output, to tighten up more on defense? What's your focus here this season?
I would say the offense has always been a bigger growing point because, to be honest, we were very poor offensively. There was more room to grow when I first took over. Just fundamentally and IQ-wise, we just didn't know a lot of things yet. And so I feel like those big jumps have come as we've grown. We're going to look to do some different things offensively, so I still want some growth. Again, like our point guard last year was a freshman. She kind of was thrown to the wolves at first, and she had a lot of growth by the end of the season. We were like, that's where we kind of want you to be. And so we still want a lot of growth offensively, and we still think there's a lot of room for growth. We start 2 juniors, 2 seniors, and a freshman. So last year we were starting 2 sophomores, right? Or we're going to start a sophomore, 2 juniors, and 2 seniors. So last year that means we were starting 2 sophomores and a freshman. So we were really young. But defensively, we can always tighten things up. But I've always been big on control what you can control. And to me, defense is a lot of just hard work and just nitty-gritty, getting down to it. So that's kind of, even when we didn't know some things when I first took over, we could always kind of control that. But there's always room to grow. So we would like to improve in both areas for sure.
Carson, you talk about growth. This is your 6th season. How have you grown as a head coach?
Man, sometimes I look back to things at the beginning, not that they were awful, but I'm like, I wouldn't do that again. Or, man, I can't believe we did it that way. I'm so glad I learned that. Really, just through experience, through assistant coaching changes. I've loved every coach I've worked with, but assistant coaches challenge you in different ways. They help me grow. Just understanding game situations, end-of-game situations. Because, I mean, I took over when I was 23, fresh out of college, I had a lot to grow just in life, right? So it's been really cool, just building relationships in the community and seeing how that helps. It's been a fun journey, and like I said, 28, so I still have a lot to learn, a lot to grow, and I know that, but every year it's a new thing to learn. Like I said, we're going to add new offensive things from things that we learned last year. Everything's a growing opportunity for me, for the girls, and we've already talked about this year, fail fast, fail often, right? Like we're gonna do this, we're gonna experience this, and we're gonna learn from it. Basketball's long, it's 4 months long. We're not going to be perfect yet. I'm not going to be perfect yet. It's being humble enough to say, okay, we're going to learn from that, and we're going to grow from that, and we're going to be better for it.
You mentioned before you went on a couple of seniors that are really kind of your core. So I want you to just talk about your seniors that are coming back and are part of that core group. What sort of leadership have they provided, and also just what your expectations of those 2 seniors are?
Our seniors are special, man. They were so pivotal in kind of getting that switch to that culture change to we want to compete. Like, we don't want to just be this kind of intramural type of atmosphere. Like, we want to compete with the best of them. And they bought in, and so then the other kids want to buy in, and then the younger kids want to buy in. But they're just good kids on and off the court. Like, you could not ask for better kids. They will be so missed. But their leadership isn't necessarily the most vocal. It's more of their example, showing up every day ready to work. Again, on and off the court, academically, just being that positive role model for the other kids goes such a long way. And they're there every day, work their tails off every day, smiling, good attitude. And like I said, they came in when things were maybe not the best. Things had to change. Sure. And they just took that challenge and ran with it, and we're a lot better for it.
So the real question when we're talking about competing, so your brother is the boys basketball coach. How competitive does that get between the boys and the girls programs, the brother and sister rivalry?
It gets pretty competitive, but at the same time, we both know that we're in the trenches, so we support each other pretty well. But he's such an asset to have. After a game, I'll call him and say, hey, what did you see? Or after his game, he'll call me and say, what did you see? From just a different perspective. We hit up the Grant Line Road Taco Bell sometimes after games. But it's just great to have somebody who you truly trust, 100%. They have your best interests, you have theirs. Just to have that relationship, or even when it comes to like summer camps and working together, like you're just on the same page, but still can challenge each other. But he will remind me of his sectional win or this or that. So it does still stay competitive, but we also really supportive. So,
Carson, your enthusiasm is contagious. What have you learned from your team over these last 6 years?
Really, I've learned, first of all, just give kudos to these girls for coming out every day and just, again, changing a culture that just wasn't there. It takes guts to go out there and put yourself out there. And I just give all the kudos to those kids. Even now, we have some girls that really have not played basketball, and they just come out every day, and they're eager to learn, and they want to put themselves out there and work hard. And in a culture, too, that's really shifting away, like you see girls' basketball numbers just dropping across the state because it is difficult. I just respect those kids so much for coming out each day and just trying to change that culture. And it just reminds me of, like, it's a choice every day, what I'm going to do with my time. They choose to give their best effort. I'm going to choose to give my best effort as a kindergarten teacher, as their coach. Just being reminded of that. And then also, as a Christian school, we get the opportunity to glorify God in what we do. And so just being reminded of as a coach, as a player, in all areas of your life, there are certain things you can do to glorify God. And just being reminded of that is a blessing too.
Anybody else have any others?
Well, I guess I was going to ask you about the schedule, but I want to just ask a question, I guess, about your thoughts on, you're talking about numbers of girls maybe not wanting to come out or not wanting to play basketball. I'm just wondering, do you think it might be good for girls basketball in the state that we have a Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever 2 hours up the road and lots of little girls that are really going to want to watch and play like Caitlin someday?
For sure. We actually took a team trip this summer at the end of summer ball. It was kind of our wrap-up to go watch it, and it was amazing. As a girls basketball player and then a coach, I knew obviously the culture of that was changing and it was exciting, but to sit there and experience a whole filled, packed, sold-out arena chanting for girls basketball, it was insane. It was so cool. But I do think it's interesting. Our numbers have kind of dropped, but then our middle school numbers are really rising. So you see that kind of dip, and it's coming back up. So hopefully that's the right trend that we're going to stay on across the state, hopefully.
Oh, yes, exactly. Hopefully all over the state. That'd be a very good thing for women's basketball.
Carson, all the best to you this year. Hope you have a fantastic season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate what you guys do.
So glad to have her here tonight. Carson Casey, head girls basketball coach of Christian Academy. Up next, a little stumper. There's one program that's coming off a 20-win season. We'll chat with their head coach on the way back. Thanks for watching the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview from Glycott.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
You cannot depend on Carl to make peace with his seatbelt. Or on Beth to choose the best meal to go.
Is that soup?
Or on Stephanie's perfect parking spot to stay perfect. But you can depend on their car starting because they have Interstate batteries. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
This is what excellence in construction looks like. It's a startup company that launched in 1980 under the leadership of a husband and wife team who had a vision for growing something great, the American dream. It's two sons who have worked hard and earned the opportunity to carry on the legacy from the ground up. It's nearly 300 employees with common culture and commitment to construction. Some of the region's most visible and ambitious projects with the same heart, passion, and drive. It's our experience, our innovation, our reputation, and core values that set us apart. Mac Construction. This is what excellence looks like.
At German American Bank, our communities matter. You can support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. With each purchase you make, we will donate 2 cents to your participating school of choice. Filling up your tank, buying groceries? Simply use your check card to show your support. Stop in your local German American Bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Glycott on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycott.
Matt Vick, head coach of Borden, joins us tonight on Glycott. And Matt, I know you're very excited for the start of the year coming off a 20-win season last year.
We return every single player from last year's team, and we've added a few pieces to our team. So we're pretty excited about the season.
What does that do for you in terms of a challenging standpoint? Do you feel like maybe you have to live up to some expectation?
I would say we definitely have the bullseye on our backs now. Lanesville has had has had the bullseye the last 5 or 6 years, and we've always been the one to try to upset them. Now I feel like now that they're out of our sectional, I think the bullseye's on us, and it's our job to win games now. So that they know our juniors now and are familiar with us. So we're not the little town of Borden anymore.
8th season for you. What keeps you coming back? Because really a lot of high school coaches can't withstand it for so long. Tell me about your journey and what's kept you there for so long.
I think the biggest thing is we just got really good kids here. And, to kind of go off of what you said about the coaches, the biggest struggle is out of season stuff. You got to fundraise, you got to have summer practices, you got to have out of season practices. I feel like that's the biggest thing coaches, that's what wears them down. So it's basketball used to be, back when I was in high school many, many years ago, it used to be a seasonal sport. And now, unfortunately, sports are, 10 months out of the year. So, like I said, we have a bunch of great kids. They're competitive. I feel like we can make a huge imprint in the history of girls basketball here, and I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, looking at your roster, certainly so many standout players are in the junior class. How encouraged are you for what you might have the next couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, those four girls have played basketball for quite some time. And when I took over and they were in elementary, I was chomping at the bit for them to get to high school. And now that they're here, we've had a lot of success with them. And to know that we have 2 more years of them is awesome. But at the same time, time flies, because I remember their first game at Eastern, their freshman year. And now it's like we're going back there as juniors. And it's like, man, it's a quick 2 years.
Ava Wheeler, 5'10 junior, 13.4 points a game. Riley, is it Rarick or Rarick?
Rarick.
Riley Rarick, 6' junior at 13 points a game. You've got A.J. Malad and then Emma Hart as well. So a lot of firepower for your team this year.
Yes, it's nice to know that teams can't, pinpoint on one player. There's been some games where Riley or Ava might, score 20 points for us, and then another night AJ might score, and then we've had a couple games where Emma Hart has scored 20 points for us. So it makes it easier as a coach when you have 4 or 5 weapons out on the floor that can go off on any given night.
Who are some other teams in the area this year in Clark and Floyd County that might stand out some?
I would say I'd say one of the better teams in this area has got to be Silver Creek. They return their 2 best players. One's a top 25 player, and the Wren girl. I think Floyd Central has potential to be really good as well. We faced them the last 2 years, and they've been really, really tight, close games. And you can never count out Angie and Lanesville. I know they graduate a lot of girls, but their 3 best players in my mind are back. And you just never know. She does a heck of a job there, and those senior girls probably want to go out on a high note, so you can never count them out.
One of your earlier comments, you talked about the community at Borden. You're coaching really in the same building with Doc Nash. He's so well respected in the community. What has he done for your career, and what's the communication like with him?
He's taught me a lot. Like, not only is he, the boys coach, and I've actually coached under him for 3 years. And it was hard to make that decision to jump over to girls just because how close we were. He's a fellow employee, but he's also a really good friend of mine. And, I would say majority of the stuff that I run in practice or in games or, we talk every single day. Usually during my prep period, I will go down to his office and, just talk basketball or talk even stuff outside of basketball, just, whether it's, a behavior issue or if it's something that, a team bonding event or, just something basketball related. I really love his opinion, and he's a winner. So it's always good to, get advice from him.
Well, so are you, Matt. 8th season, 83 and 79. Educate everyone outside of basketball. What's a fun fact about you?
Well, I'm a Borden grad, so I'm a little biased when it comes to Borden High School. I guess a crazy fact, I guess, is we have a family farm, and we raise cantaloupes, which most people are like, I don't even know what a cantaloupe is. So I guess that would be my fun fact. We have a family farm that sell to the local grocery stores here. So, people say, man, I bet summertime you have a lot of downtime. And actually, it's the exact opposite. I think I have more downtime during the school year than I do in the summer.
That's head coach Matt Vick. We'll be right back after this. Well, guys, as we talk about Coach Vick at Borden, this is a team of all the coaches we're going to talk to tonight. They might have the highest ceiling this year.
Yeah, you look at what they did last year. Just an incredible year to go 20-5, but to be in the same sectional as Lanesville last year just makes it incredibly tough. You have to be, as a coach, excited, but also a little bummed out because Lanesville moves up to 2A with the success factor. And so you see that and you go, well, the path is more open now. But at the same time, you want that opportunity to compete against the team that knocked you out and go face them again to go through them to achieve it. But also you got to be excited about the opportunity that's there with the sectional, that really they're the favorite to win with a very, very talented squad, and with Lanesville moving up with that success factor really opens the door for them.
And I found it very interesting, Todd. He's talking about Coach Nash. And Coach Nash, those two great reputable coaches in the same building learning off one another.
Well, sure. Coach Nash certainly has had some really good teams over the years and had some great players and knows how to get the most out of them. So I would just think that would be a great synergy to be those two to be able to work off each other and play off each other idea-wise and so forth. Absolutely.
And Andrew, you've been in a similar predicament coaching at Jeff and at Providence, two really good coaches in the same building as well. What was that like for you?
You just pick each other's brain. With Coach Voiles at Jeff, just unbelievable on the girls' side. She had been to 2 state finals. Coach Borden at Providence, same thing. The year we went to semi-state, they went to semi-state as well. So just being able to just sit and watch each other's practices at times, being able to share ideas for different drills, different ways to connect with players and motivate them, and that's just a wealth of knowledge that is just there with you. You have to take advantage of it. And Coach Vick has that opportunity with Coach Nash to really learn a lot from him.
And Todd, of all the schools we'll talk with, the community of Borden, it's just a special place, really summarizes what high school sports is all about in southern Indiana.
Well, absolutely it is, and they are a very tight-knit community. It's a wonderful community, and they certainly will. They come out for each other, and that they will. They'll have lots of those fine Borden folks in those seats rooting on those games, and so that's definitely that kind of spot.
We have a Coach Sykes sighting. Head coach of Jeffersonville, Taylor Sykes, will join us. We're live tonight at Boom Bahs in Jeffersonville. Come on out. We are at 1450 Veterans Parkway in Jeff. We'll chat with Coach Sykes in just a moment. Be right back.
Want to do what's best for their children. Teenagers love a party, and often alcohol is involved at those parties. While some people think that hosting those parties in their homes will keep their kids safe, it's wrong. And it's illegal to allow your teens and their friends to consume alcohol on your property. In fact, it's a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to underage drinking. Funding in part provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health Services. For more information, go to ourplaceinc.org.
The second game of the season, I popped my shoulder out of socket, so I went to the doctor a few weeks later, and they referred me to priority radiology to get an arthrogram. It was about a day later that they told me the news that I tore my labrum. Since I got the results back so quick, I got to start doing physical therapy and everything quicker, which made my recovery process a lot quicker, and I'm thankful for priority radiology for getting the results back that fast.
Looking for family fun in Southern Indiana? Then look no further than Strike and Spare, your go-to spot for a great time at prices that won't break your budget. With regular and kid-friendly bumper bowling lanes, everyone can join in on the action. And don't miss out on Cosmic Bowling, the cool way to bowl with that nighttime feel. Strike up the fun at Strike and Spare in Clarksville at 511 Little League Boulevard. And visit strikeandspare.com/Clarksville for more information on hosting birthdays and corporate parties.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Well, a false alarm, as luck would have us. Taylor Sykes is coming. That was not her. We will chat with Clarksville's head coach, Amanda Carmichael, in a little bit as well. But let's talk, guys, about first the Jeff program and Coach Sykes. You're familiar with that program, having coached the boys' side there. What is she inheriting at Jeff?
Well, she'll have a lot of talent this year. If you look at the start they had last year, a 3-4 start to the season, but then to turn that around and go 10-5 after kind of a rough start. So a lot of positive momentum at the end of the year heading into this upcoming season.
Well, not really inheriting. It's her second year, but plus 500, and that's a very strong building block.
Absolutely, and I know she, from talking to her before the season last year, she was giving up a position in the corporate world to be in the building at Jeffersonville because she thought that would be best for her kids, and which certainly says something for her character. And I know that her being there for them then has allowed them to grow, and I think that's really, like I said, it's a great character point for her to have done that, and had a good season last year, as it turns out. Didn't start great, but finished off very nicely.
Well, and the chance to really feed off the energy of the boys' side, Coach Wilkerson. I mean, they're a potential state finalist type team. That's a positive as well.
Well, anytime we were just talking about any great coaches working together and being able to pick that other coach's brain on the boys' side or the girls' side, and she has that opportunity with Coach Wilkerson and his experience that he has, not just as a coach but as a player as well.
A couple of key players, Todd, certainly early before the season starts, but a transfer from Rock Creek, Kellis Dansby, and then Kasaya Renee, a returning junior from last year.
Well, and I was going to say, and also others that are returning that will help build, know the system now, know the way she wants to play. Coach Sykes, that is, wants to play, and so that's going to be big too. Not having to install fresh, but then you get an injection of some new talent and some new players, and that certainly can give everybody a big boost.
We're due to chat with Coach Sykes, also Amanda Carmichael at Clarksville. This is a program that certainly they've struggled of late. 3 wins last year. What are some things they can do, Andrew, to get the ball moving in the right direction?
Well, anytime that you take over or anytime that you have that program that has struggled, you want to get the positive momentum, and you do that with the little things like boxing out, little things like culture. And you can't judge yourself just solely on the wins and losses. You have to, especially early on, judge yourself based on those little self-victories you set for yourself. And you start to see that growth over time, and you're consistent with it, and that consistency starts to pay off. So for them, it may not be judged on the scoreboard right away, but Coach is probably going to be looking at those little steps that they're making every day in practice, and if she's seeing that, the scoreboard will catch up.
Todd, you're very familiar with the Clarksville program as you've covered them over the years. What stands out when you look at the girls' team?
Well, I'll tell you what, girls and boys, I will say also just that certainly Clarksville, that community really wants to have good, they want to have good basketball. That community enjoys it and comes out for them. So it's just, I think, certainly just got to be building blocks upon building blocks and get some folks fired up and especially youngsters coming up through the middle school ranks to then build on that. And the folks at Clarksville, fine folks at Clarksville, will want to come out and watch some good basketball.
Tiara Lewis, Jayana Shirley, and Julia Parizzi, 3 of the top returnees for the Clarksville Generals program. Chris Labar, former Providence, and Jeff coach Andrew Grant's Todd Carter is here as well as we really kick off high school basketball season here in Southern Indiana. The girls' season will start a few weeks earlier than the boys. Yep. And Todd will do this again in a couple of weeks with the boys. So a lot of excitement here this time of the year. Absolutely.
Building for the season to start. Girls begin next week, and boys in just a few weeks. And it's here that shoulder from the fall sports into the winter sports, and it's here, and it's going to be fun.
Boys preview back live here at Boom Baz in 2 weeks. We'd love for you to join us. It'll be on November 13th at 6 p.m. We will take one time out, be back to talk more Southern Indiana girls high school basketball. Thanks for watching us tonight on Glycod. We'll be right back.
This second shift. This old pair of pants. This staycation. This brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer.
Looking for a career instead of a job? Want to make a difference in a child's life? Community Action of Southern Indiana's Head Start program is now hiring. They offer competitive wages, plus health, dental, and life insurance, as well as paid college tuition and retirement plans. Apply online through Indeed.com or email your resume. You can make a difference in a child's life. Community Action of Southern Indiana and Head Start, serving children and families for over 60 years.
For the area's best pre-owned vehicle prices and selection, visit Jim Butner Auto Group. Since 1955, the Jim Butner family has been Southern Indiana's top choice for reliable, trustworthy, and exceptional service. Enjoy fast and easy financing, no matter your credit history. Visit JimButnerAuto.com or stop by our showroom at 125 West Lewis and Clark Parkway in Clarksville. Discover why Jim Butner Auto Group is striving to serve you better every day. Jim Butner Auto Group, your hometown family dealership since 1955.
You're busy, always on the go, and when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family-owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Amanda Carmichael, head coach at Clarksville, joins us. Coach, as you get set for another season at Clarksville, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about everything?
I'm really excited about this season. We just were talking, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's my 5th year already. But I've been with this group for quite some time. I coached some of these guys when they were in elementary, 3rd and 4th grade, so we've been together for a long time. So I've been looking forward to them getting up at the high school level for a while. So we're pretty excited.
Coach, talk about your core. Who's coming back for your team, and what makes you is helping make you excited.
Well, I've got 3 of my core here with me tonight. So these 3 started every game for me last year. Tiara and Aaliyah both started every game as a freshman. T was hurt a few games, but other than that, she started every game. And then we've got our senior, Julia Parisi. She's probably started for, 2 to 3 years now, but she's been with me a long time too. So I've got my core here with me.
All right.
Coach, you're looking for the Generals' first double-digit winning season since 2006-2007. You were talking about how you've coached them since 3rd grade. And we know anytime that you're building a program and doing that feeder program and getting them while they're young and developing them really pays dividends down the road. Can you just speak to the continuity that you've been able to create with this group and how important that is?
I think it's just really, whenever I took the job, it was about changing the culture a little bit and changing it into a winning culture. So that's really what we've tried to do. I think we're finally where I want it to be. I said going into this year, I'm like, it's so different starting practice. Like I feel like we've got a well-oiled machine. We kind of know what's going on, and we've got our feeder system where we want it to be. So just glad to be in that position this year.
Coach, a 12-year career. You've been at 3 or 4 other schools. How have you adapted over time?
Well, I'd say these guys are probably lucky because I think I'm getting soft in my old age. I've coached a lot, and I think that I've probably adapted with the kids. I definitely, I'll just put it that way. I'm definitely getting soft in my old age. I'm soft for these guys. They can talk me into about anything.
Well, so I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'll let you hand the microphone down as I do, but I just want to ask you, what do you love about playing basketball at Clarksville?
What I love about playing basketball at Clarksville, I just love playing with, as a team and helping each other learn and grow, as one person and as a whole.
I like playing basketball at Clarksville because I know it's the one sport that I can go to and stay happy and know that I have people there for me, and there's always going to be someone to go to. And overall, the culture is just, everyone's going to be there, and everyone helps everyone.
I like playing basketball at Clarksville because I like getting to know my team and getting to see who they are on and off the court.
So I'm going to stick with you girls, and we'll kind of move the other way now. This early start of the season and getting into practices here, what have been some points of emphasis that you've been hearing from Coach consistently early on here these first couple weeks that have been sticking with you guys that you're really focusing on?
I think that was a hard one, Andrew.
I know. I stumped him.
She really likes defense. She knows defense wins games, wins championships, and stuff like that.
I know that as a team, we're focused on trying to score more this year.
I know that we're trying to communicate more on and off the court with each other and just play defense well.
Awesome.
Julia, you're the only senior of the group. How important is it to go out on a high note?
I think it's really important to me. We just ended volleyball season. It didn't end how we wanted to end the season. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully making it further this year, especially since we haven't got to since I've been in high school.
Amanda, what's it like to be back? The excitement to start another season.
I think it's really exciting for me. As you guys know, my husband Levi is back on the sideline too, so it's just been really cool. We've done a lot of things together with the girls and boys program, and just kind of changing the culture with both. And it's fun, we've got the kids working little generals together. So I think just the excitement around school as a whole, I think everybody's really excited for basketball season.
Coach, as you look to add to those win totals and build that culture, what are some of those kind of progress points or things that you're looking for early on in the season to know that, hey, this is a marker for us that we're heading in the right direction?
Well, I'm really shocked that none of them mentioned turnovers because I have told them, we have got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball. We talked today, too, end of game situations. We have got to, just start valuing the basketball a little bit more. And then I'm also surprised they didn't say, just rebounding as a whole. I think if we can do a better job at those two things, we're going to be a lot better basketball team.
They're shaking their head. I think I put them on the spot. That's my fault, Coach.
Coach, thanks so much for stopping by, and all the best to you this year.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thanks to the great student athletes as well. We will take one more quick timeout. We're live at Boom Boss. We'll chat with New Washington's head coach, also Henryville, Jeffersonville, and much, much more. Be right back after this.
Want to do what's best for their children. Teenagers love a party, and often alcohol is involved at those parties. While some people think that hosting those parties in their homes will keep their kids safe, it's wrong. And it's illegal to allow your teens and their friends to consume alcohol on your property. In fact, it's a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to underage drinking. Funding in part provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health Services. For more information, go to ourplaceinc.org.
The second game of the season, I popped my shoulder out of socket, so I went to the doctor a few weeks later, and they referred me to priority radiology to get an arthrogram. It was about a day later that they told me the news that I tore my labrum. Since I got the results back so quick, I got to start doing physical therapy and everything quicker, which made my recovery process a lot quicker, and I'm thankful for priority radiology for getting the results back that fast.
Looking for family fun in Southern Indiana? Then look no further than Strike and Spare, your go-to spot for a great time at prices that won't break your budget. With regular and kid-friendly bumper bowling lanes, everyone can join in on the action. And don't miss out on Cosmic Bowling, the cool way to bowl with that nighttime feel. Strike up the fun at Strike and Spare in Clarksville at 511 Little League Boulevard. And visit strikeandspare.com/Clarksville for more information on hosting birthdays and corporate parties.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Want to do what's best for their children. Teenagers love a party, and often alcohol is involved at those parties. While some people think that hosting those parties in their homes will keep their kids safe, it's wrong. And it's illegal to allow your teens and their friends to consume alcohol on your property. In fact, it's a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to underage drinking. Funding in part provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health Services. For more information, go to ourplaceinc.org.
The second game of the season, I popped my shoulder out of socket, so I went to the doctor a few weeks later, and they referred me to priority radiology to get an arthrogram. It was about a day later that they told me the news that I tore my labrum. Since I got the results back so quick, I got to start doing physical therapy and everything quicker, which made my recovery process a lot quicker, and I'm thankful for priority radiology for getting the results back that fast.
Looking for family fun in Southern Indiana? Then look no further than Strike and Spare, your go-to spot for a great time at prices that won't break your budget. With regular and kid-friendly bumper bowling lanes, everyone can join in on the action. And don't miss out on Cosmic Bowling, the cool way to bowl with that nighttime feel. Strike up the fun at Strike and Spare in Clarksville at 511 Little League Boulevard. And visit strikeandspare.com/Clarksville for more information on hosting birthdays and corporate parties.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Tuesday Guernsey, head coach of Henryville, joins us. And Tuesday, a solid year last year, 5 over 500. What's the excitement level for 24-25?
Definitely coming back with a lot of my seniors, strong junior class. You know, last year we 14 wins, and that season is the best Henryville's seen in 7-8 years. But then also a strong freshman class that's able to push my upper class. That's something I haven't had in recent years, and you can just tell that in the gym it brings an energy, it brings that competitiveness, and so that excitement I'm hoping carries over into the games.
As far as what you have coming back this season, just let's talk a little bit about your core players coming back. Who's going to be back for your team, and who are you excited about having back?
Yeah, well, we have 5 seniors. One of them tore ACL in volleyball, so she's out. Bree Berry. I've got my other 4: Miley Markham, Addie Foley, Chloe Harder, and Winnie Smith. We've got junior Gracie Best, who's going to be coming in strong. I got a freshman, Emma McAfee, that's maybe actually in a starting position for us. And, I can go 7, 8, 9 into the bench and not decrease play, which is something that's very critical in the game, whether it's sickness, whether it's injury, whether it's foul trouble. And so, that's one of our big goals is when we make subs, the competitiveness in the play does not decrease. And so I feel very confident about that.
Sounds like it.
So, Coach, we look at just statistically over the last few years, offensively, just unbelievable jumps. You go from 3 years ago, 28 points per game, to 36 points per game, to last year, 46 points per game, almost doubling your point total in a matter of 2 years. Can you just speak to the reasoning behind that and just some emphasis that you've had on the offensive end?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be able to have a team that has fast play, who's able to acclimate to whatever defense that they throw at us. And having the girls that I've had in the past 2-3 years that has the basketball IQ to do so, where I'm not having to coach them through everything, has definitely impacted our offensive play. And really just knowing that all 5 of you need to be an offensive threat. You all 5 have the go to shoot. And having the confidence behind your shot into taking it is actually why I think we've been able to score more points.
Coach, your 6th season now as head coach at Henryville. What have you learned throughout this pilgrimage?
Oh, there's peaks and valleys with everything. You know, you have starting off, you know, I got a team that was, you know, very low when it came to their abilities. And those first 3-4 years was really a struggle to just, you know, you have some that can compete at a high level, and then you have some that you have to learn how to stop and pivot without traveling. And so definitely just taking it day by day. But it's much more than basketball for these kids. That's what one of my big things is for them, is that you can actually learn through the adversity that they face in practice and learn those character traits to build strong, independent women. That's the most important part. And so even though it's maybe a losing season, a winning season, if they grow as a person at the end of that's our go-to.
Well, let's bring in our Henryville Lady Hornets basketball players here. And so I'm going to ask you just a pretty easy and basic question. Coach Grants is going to ask you the tough one here in a minute. I want to know why you like to play basketball at Henryville.
I like to play because I think there's a lot of team camaraderie and there's a lot of competitiveness within the game, so I like that.
I like playing at Henryville because playing for Tuesday it feels like a privilege, because she looks at the bigger parts of basketball and not only like the game of basketball, but like who you are throughout the game and who you're going to be after you like finish the game. And yeah.
I like playing just because of the competitiveness. It is good, always playing with that. And I love how, like, throughout all of our varsity, we're just so close on and off the court, and we all just, like, get along so well. There's no, like, tension or anything. And I like playing there and just having, like, a bigger role and being a leader and all that.
So I'm going to put you on the spot now. It's not that hard of a question. So the first couple weeks of practice, what are some consistent points of emphasis that you've been hearing from Coach that you guys have really been focusing in on this season?
One that sticks out to me is definitely just like pushing the ball this season. We haven't always been like quicker with the ball, so definitely just like getting it out and going and just transitioning and bringing that energy and like not playing to your competition, just playing how we play and just getting it and going. So
yeah, to piggyback off what she said, just play a fast-paced game and be even like everybody be an offensive threat, and everybody like be good on man-to-man too, and just always be playing your own role like while you're stepping on the court.
Yeah, I think she really wants us to be a threat in our man-to-man this year. We haven't always been the best at that, but I think we've recently picked it up pretty good. So.
Miley, what is it like playing for Coach?
It's really, really fun because it's just, it feels like a privilege to play for her because she's not like all other coaches. She really likes to bring out the fun in the game, but she also likes to implement like what the game is and how to become better, but not only a better player, but become a better person as well.
Coach, Lanesville having so much success at 1A, now moving up to 2A. Do you feel like there might be an opening for somebody in the area to break through?
Well, that's a question a lot of different people have asked them going up to 2A. They're still going to be a threat. Hadley Crozier's going to be back this year. Hilton Brumley, you've got Shelby Allen. They're going to be competing at the 2A. At the 1A sectional, we were kind of hoping we go north. It might have been a little bit easier because most everybody's like, oh, you're going to 1A. It's going to be a cakewalk. And I'm like, but there's Borden. They're going to be competitive. And we got some other competitive teams in there. But I do hope that we can actually fight and try to be one of the competitors that is in that sectional championship and just really, give it all we got.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. It's head coach Guernsey. Up next, we'll chat with Jeff head coach Taylor Sykes. That conversation on the way back from Glycott.
Great job.
This second shift. This old pair of pants. This staycation. This brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer.
Looking for a career instead of a job? Want to make a difference in a child's life? Community Action of Southern Indiana's Head Start program is now hiring. They offer competitive wages, plus health, dental, and life insurance, as well as paid college tuition and retirement plans. Apply online through Indeed.com or email your resume. You can make a difference in a child's life. Community Action of Southern Indiana and Head Start, serving children and families for over 60 years.
For the area's best pre-owned vehicle prices and selection, visit Jim Butner Auto Group. Since 1955, the Jim Butner family has been Southern Indiana's top choice for reliable, trustworthy, and exceptional service. Enjoy fast and easy financing, no matter your credit history. Visit JimButnerAuto.com or stop by our showroom at 125 West Lewis and Clark Parkway in Clarksville. Discover why Jim Butner Auto Group is striving to serve you better every day. Jim Butner Auto Group, your hometown family dealership since 1955.
You're busy, always on the go, and when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Welcome back to Boom Bas and Jeff. We'll be here to 8 o'clock if you'd like to join us for the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview Show. Coach Sykes, Taylor Sykes of Jeff joins us. And, Coach, a really solid first year last year. What did you learn in your first head coaching assignment?
I think I learned majority is the importance of culture within a team and togetherness within the team. And that's one thing within this season I think that we have special is that we have a player-driven culture. I don't have to set the rules and expectations. I have seniors who kind of came in, they laid the foundation, and they're driving it. And that's something special that we have.
Coach, I know we talked before last year's season for the preview guide, and you were excited about being in the building with your players. You were excited about that culture building process. So you talked about it now being player led. Just what although there had to be some seeds that you planted, what sorts of seeds did you plant to get it to be that way?
I was in their footsteps. I graduated in 2016, so I understand what it's like to put on their jersey, and I understand the challenge that they face. But the main thing is that I focus on building relationships with my players first, and then I know that will bring the best out of them. And so that is really, I want them to understand I care for you, I love you, we're a family, but I'm going to hold you to a standard, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to bring the best out of you.
Coach, last season you started off 3-4, and then come back and finish very strong with 10-5 in your last 15 games. Can you talk about that positive momentum that you're able to finish the season with, and how that's carried into summer basketball and now into this season?
Yes. It just preaches the importance of togetherness. Sometimes in basketball, you have to understand it doesn't matter who scores. It's about we're scoring as a team. And when we kind of hit that 4-game stretch when we lost games and we had a tough game winner against Cathedral that we lost, it was about them coming together and picking each other up. The coaches can only do so much. And at some point, they looked at each other and they said, okay, we have to figure this out together. And that is something carrying over into this season. I mean, this team off the court, they hang out with each other. They're friends in the locker room. They have a great time together, and they really embrace that family-like culture. And that is something that is very special about this group, is that it's player-led and it's within them.
Coach, we talked about this a little earlier about your school having 2 solid coaches in the building. Coach Wilkerson, describe what he's like, and then what can you learn from him, and have you learned from him?
So I make the joke of I'm 26 years old and Coach Wilkerson has 26 years of coaching experience. And but one great thing is that he's 2 doors down from me, and on a daily basis I'm knocking on his door and I'm asking questions. And he is continuously giving me pointers, and it's so great as somebody who is starting out their coaching experience to have a coach that has so much knowledge and he's willing to pour into me. And so things like culture or even plays, I'll stop by and I say, hey, look at this practice film and those kind of things, and he'll explain it to me. And so he's been a phenomenal mentor to me and to my girls also, and I'm grateful for him and his guys. I'm excited for their season.
Well, let's bring in our Jeff basketball players. So I've been asking about playing basketball and what you like playing, what players have liked. Let's talk about your all's games. What do you think is the best part of your game in basketball, and then what do you have to improve on? So I'm going to hand the microphone to you first.
Personal? Yeah. What was the question again? Sorry.
What do you think the best part of your game is?
Honestly, I think that my role as a teammate, I think that I'm kind of like, sorry. I would say I'm the main voice on the team. You know, some teammates are scared to raise their voice at their teammates, obviously in a teammate way, but I'm probably the teammate that holds everybody accountable, and even at practice, every single day, I just think I'm the accountability teammate. I make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Very good. What other thing would you like to do to get better? What would you like to get better at?
To get better at, I would like to be better at defensive. On the defensive side, I definitely like to get better at that. Like on-ball pressure, for sure.
On my role, I think I'm more on the defensive side. I think I have really good defense and bring that intensity. And then one thing I think I should work on is shooting outside, mid-range and stuff.
So, question for you guys, just early on in the season here, these first 2 weeks, what have just been the points of emphasis as far as style of play? What can we expect from the Red Devils this year, just about how you want to play together on the team?
We're definitely going to be a fast break team. We don't really like to slow down, besides, obviously when we need to slow down, but you guys definitely going to see a lot of just fast breaks. We like to play fast, high-intensity defense. We're working on that a lot during preseason and now. And, yeah, we've been putting in the work for sure.
Yeah, from what you can expect from us is defense, high intensity, a lot of pressure, and fast breaks.
Ladies, what is a fun fact about Coach Sykes that not many people know about?
A fun fact about Coach Sykes is she loves to have fun with the team, but she can definitely crack down on us whenever we need to be serious. But she's a very goofy coach and really cares a lot about her teammates, her players. Kind of like a second mother to all of us, and she cares about us off the court especially.
Yeah, she's a big jokester, but when it's time to get serious, she gets all in us.
Coach, how much do you enjoy coaching these young ladies on the team?
I enjoy it. I always wanted to make an impact with youth, and I couldn't make an impact with all of them. And so I kind of say, with my small 28 girls, if I can make a difference in their lives and let them know when they grow up that they can pick up the phone and call me, and they have that one person that will be there for me, then I've done my job as a coach. And so it's just kind of like mentoring them and trying to raise them up to be accountable, respectable young women.
13-10 last year, sectional semifinalist. Is your goal this year to win the section?
Yes, but I think that if you were to ask everybody that came up here, they would probably say the same thing. And so instead of focusing, I guess, on the big goal, we are focusing on the everyday details. We're focusing on the little things, boxing out. Are we going after the 50-50 balls in practice? Because those things build championship teams. But focusing on sectionals, sometimes you can miss the process. So we're enjoying the process. We're enjoying practice every single day. They just got out of practice today and came over here. And we're analyzing practice film, and every day we're figuring out how can we get better as individuals and as a whole.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Anything else?
Oh, no. That's it. Thanks. Just thanks to Coach for coming by.
Great to see Coach Taylor Sykes will step aside. Still to come, Floyd Central and Silver Creek. They'll be next right after this from Glycott.
Want to do what's best for their children. Teenagers love a party, and often alcohol is involved at those parties. While some people think that hosting those parties in their homes will keep their kids safe, it's wrong. And it's illegal to allow your teens and their friends to consume alcohol on your property. In fact, it's a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to underage drinking. Funding in part provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health Services. For more information, go to ourplaceinc.org.
The second game of the season, I popped my shoulder out of socket, so I went to the doctor a few weeks later, and they referred me to priority radiology to get an arthrogram. It was about a day later that they told me the news that I tore my labrum. Since I got the results back so quick, I got to start doing physical therapy and everything quicker, which made my recovery process a lot quicker, and I'm thankful for priority radiology for getting the results back that fast.
Looking for family fun in Southern Indiana? Then look no further than Strike and Spare, your go-to spot for a great time at prices that won't break your budget. With regular and kid-friendly bumper bowling lanes, everyone can join in on the action. And don't miss out on Cosmic Bowling, the cool way to bowl with that nighttime feel. Strike up the fun at Strike and Spare in Clarksville at 511 Little League Boulevard. And visit strikeandspare.com/Clarksville for more information on hosting birthdays and corporate parties.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Scott Shane is next on the agenda. He's an affable head coach. Always love chatting with you, Scott. What are you most excited about for another go-around?
Just getting back in the gym, getting the girls running up and down the court, just hearing that basketball bounce. You know, it's here. You know, 85 degrees outside, but don't seem like basketball season. But no, it's good. It's good to get the kids. Looking forward to just competing. You know, trying to be the best team that we can possibly be.
Well, and Coach, we talked just before the preview guide just a week or two ago, and you're real excited with what you have coming back. You've got a lot of experience returning this year. Talk to everybody just about what core you have coming back and what kind of experience you have coming back.
Yeah. You know, we returned a lot of kids from last year's team. We were actually just sitting here talking to Lydia that 4 years ago we went to the state championship. You know, we were runner-up, and Lydia was a freshman. And actually played in that game. You know, I some of my freshmen actually played in that game. So we have kids that's been there. You know, they understand what it looks like Lydia Wright, Katie Rooney, Hannah Sin, Amira Esteban, Emma Shane, Brooke and Wren. I'm trying to think, Katie Haynes. I'm going through my head right now trying to think of people. But we got a lot of kids that have showed up, and they've been working hard all summer. We had a great summer. I think if you're successful in the summer, that bodes well for the season. Same as if you're not successful in the summer, it doesn't bode so well in this season. But again, I think we got some kids. Jocelyn Chesser is a kid who we have that's kind of banged up right now, but we're really excited about just getting back in there, getting them all together. Kind of seeing where all this goes. But again, we went from being a young team a few years ago to now we're a veteran team. I feel like we got 4 seniors. We're a senior and junior laden right now.
Coach, you're just 2 years removed from back-to-back state finals, and now having gone up to 4A because of success factor, moving back to 3A here, and with coming off of an 18-5 record last year, very good season, and talking about the experience that's coming back, could we be in the midst here of another 2-year run like we've seen before?
Well, I mean, we talk all the time that you got to be good and you got to be lucky, but you also have to have pieces, and I feel like we have pieces now. Again, we don't talk about that, right? We talk about getting better. That stuff takes care of itself. I like our team. I'm not scared. We open up with Lawrence North on November 9th. It's not like we're running and hiding from anybody. But again, these kids understand. We said it the other day. These kids understand what it takes to win. Now we just got to figure out how to do it. We got bumped up into the 4A sectional for 2 years and lost to Bedford North Lawrence both times. Bedford won the state championship that year. Our first year when we had a bunch of babies and pups. They were all young kids. Young cats, right? And then last year, had a great season. Winning 18 games, beat some really good teams. Got beat by Bedford in the sectional semifinals, and now moving back down to 3A. It's still tough. Our sectional, that sectional 30, I think if you look at it, if I'm correct, in the last 8 years, 9 years has been in the semi-state. Whoever's won that section has been in the semi-state or won the state championship. So it's a tough sectional, but we're looking forward to it. I think we got good kids who know how to play the game of basketball, and they work so hard for each other.
Scott, what's it like to coach in the Silver Creek culture? So many good coaches in that facility.
Oh, we have tons of great coaches, and we're all friends. We're not envious of each other. Our volleyball team is in the semi-state. Coach Zimmerman does such a great job with his kids. Coach Hoffman, Coach Pappenhouse, our football teams, in the sectional. I don't know how football is as far as semifinals, but they won their first round, right? So moving on and playing Martinsville, it's really a blessing for me because I get to ask questions about culture, about how to handle things. I was talking to Tuesday out here, and if you can coach, you can coach. I don't care what sport it is. So I draw upon like Coach Decker, Coach Hoffman, just about experiences, what's the word? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's just about the whole, we talk culture, but what goes into that? Because it's all the same across the board. I don't care if it's baseball, soccer, volleyball, cross country. I don't care what it is. It's all the same. It's principles, 100%. It all takes the same. A team that's committed to each other and not about themselves. It's not about we. It's not about me. It's about we. It's about us. So it's awesome, and I think that's why Silver Creek has such a great culture as far as education and sports is. Our coaches all work together. We all pull for each other. We're big fans of each program.
Well, I think we'll bring in our players now. So I'm going to ask you guys first. What do you love about playing basketball at Silver Creek?
What I love playing basketball at Silver Creek is it's a competitive environment, and we all play together. Our team just gets along together, so it's fun to be around. And then also we're all really competitive, so it's just fun to play against each other because we all want to win, and we know it's all love at the end, but we all make each other better.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I love everyone on the team, and just the friendships that I've made from basketball is definitely one of my favorite parts about being on the team.
So I want to ask you guys about the schedule. You guys are going to play some tough opponents during the season. How does that tough schedule prepare you all for the postseason?
Yeah, I definitely think it helps us prepare just because we're playing against the best the whole time. And so whenever we go into postseason playoffs, we've seen it all before, so we know what to expect and how to fight that.
Yeah, as Coach said,
we're not scared of anyone. We're not going back down, but they're all really good teams. So putting us in every situation possible we can see in the postseason or anything, just to help get like an upper hand maybe to win.
Coach, as you look towards another season now, 15 of them in your rearview mirror, I mean, is it the same as it was, or are you even more excited to get back at it?
No, it's exciting. No, I told the girls on the first day of practice, I said the day I'm a nervous wreck. Like, it's the butterflies, it's the juices. And I was like, the day I come in on the day one of basketball practice, and I'm not a nervous wreck about the practice plan, I'm not a nervous wreck about the practice gear, that I really don't care, is the day I'm done. I got to get out of it because it's not fair to the kids. But, yeah, 15 years, you blink, it don't feel like 15. Sometimes it feels like 40. Sometimes it feels like 5. Sometimes they make me feel like I'm 80, over there pulling hair out and all this stuff. But sometimes, man, when they make those plays, it makes you just excited to know that I get a chance to coach them, right? And we talk about family. I'm blessed, and my coaching staff is they're so close. We're so close, and we added a new coach, Coach Borden, onto the staff. Who we're excited about. But it's this whole family atmosphere, and so I get to show up and I get to coach with some of my best friends. And then I get to go and watch these kids compete and reach their potential, and that's my job, push them to reach their full potential. It's exciting, man. It's exciting. It's fun. And in Indiana, where else?
Well, just Coach, talking about keeping you or having you guys reach your potential, what sorts of things, as you look at the season, what sorts of things do you think you need to do in your game to make your game better?
For my game, I think definitely getting stronger, being one of the smaller guards. It's tough getting the paint when I'm with like 6 foot and bigger girls than me, so getting stronger is definitely will help. And then definitely improving, not just being able to shoot or anything, but driving more, so to help the team with anything.
I think for me, just because I'm a senior this year, just like my decision making and being like the rock on the court, and yeah, just always getting my handles better, always getting my shooting better. So yeah.
Coach, to piggyback off what you talked about, Coach Borden, to have his experience now besides you on the bench, what is that going to do for your game as a head coach?
Oh, yeah, it's always good to have another guy who's actually been through it a little bit, understands the ins and outs of things as far as, game management and things like that. It's always good to have that there, and I'm blessed in the fact that I have my dad who's, a 20-year vet, down at South Central. I always say when people talk about us as coaches, I'm Richard Pitino and he's like Rick Pitino. Everybody knows who Pops is, but to have 2 head coaches who's got that experience on there, it's the little things, in there. And I'm blessed too in the fact that I have Brittany Shane Brittany Ort, my sister who played at Indiana State. I have Tara Logan, who Tara Miller at North Harrison, who played at Butler, Indiana, and Butler. I have Noah Bays, who's been he's the winningest coach in Silver Creek history. He coaches everything, and then I have Dave Rooney, another who's one of my main guys, So I'm lucky in our staff, man. They pour over these kids. Like, there's no agenda, and I'm going to answer the question for them, what they were talking about, leadership. That's what these 2 are bringing to the table, is their leadership, we talk about it's fun, but it's not hee-hee-ha-ha fun, right? It's serious fun, but leadership is what they're going to bring to the table. They're grown up, they're grown up. They've been forged in the fire. Lydia played in that game in the state runner-up. She played minutes and not because of a blowout. She played in games that mattered. So we're going to lean on that. There's going to come a time this season that's going to play a pivotal point in our success, right? Because she's going to be able to draw onto that experience. So I'm excited for these kids. I'm excited to be the coach. I'm lucky to be at Silver Creek. I say it every day. When I get to walk in that gym and get to see these kids showing up and they already doing their routine, it's a blessing to me.
Scott, all the best to you this year. Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys for doing this. Go Dragons.
Head coach Shane, always a pleasure to talk with him. Floyd Central's head coach, first-year head coach, but not a stranger to high school basketball. We'll chat with Coach Hickey when we return on GlideCod.com.
A proud supporter of the Providence Pioneers and Southern Indiana High School athletics, Mack Construction is a second-generation company that provides quality workmanship in heavy civil construction, asphalt, and streetscape while maintaining focus on worksite safety and productivity. Put Mack Construction's nearly 40 years of award-winning service to work for your project. For more information, visit mackconstruction.com. Mack Construction. Experience. Reputation. Solutions.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, it might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Contact Floyd Snobs and Jeffersonville Allstate agent Hackey Page today.
Vaping has already reached epidemic proportions in the U.S. More than 3.6 million U.S. youth use e-cigarettes, including 1 out of every 5 in high school. And many of those who are vaping want to quit. Get real about quitting and put your health first when you live vape-free. For the support needed to quit, text the word Indiana to 873-373. Again, that's text the word Indiana to 873-373. A message from the Clark County Health Department.
You cannot depend on Beth to choose the best meal to go.
Is that soup? No, thank you.
But you can always depend on her car starting because she has an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
With a wide range of products including video surveillance, door access, fire alarm monitoring, or burglar alarms, Northside Security ensures top service at an affordable price. Their team will efficiently plan and install your system, then train you with 24-hour monitoring. For more, contact them at 812-282-3142 or get a quote online at northsidesecurity.com. Northside Security in Clarksville, where service and protection meet.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Welcome back to Boom Boss, and Jeff will check in with Jerry Hickey, first year Floyd Central head coach, but coach synonymous really in these parts, been a long time up at Salem. What's it like now in the first year at Floyd?
It's been good. Obviously it's kind of a bigger production down at Floyd 4A school than it is at Salem. So everything's just a little bit more out in the open. There's, I don't think we've ever done this in my 12 years at Salem. And so just a lot more kind of in your face, just a lot more expectations, and it's just a bigger scale down at Floyd.
Well, Coach, I'll just ask you, we talked for the preview guide just a couple weeks ago just about what kind of core you guys have coming back. And if I'm not mistaken, 5 starters returning, right? So that's got to feel good.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at right now is to have all 5 starters back. There's some underclassmen that might hope to have something to say about that as practices get going. We graduated 1 from last year, but we bring back pretty much everybody that played significant minutes. So a little tough transition right now with so many girls playing volleyball and cross country. We have 7 that are still playing volleyball and 1 running cross country. So it'll be like getting an injection of life, just kind of another team when they get done, hopefully in 2 weeks, but maybe this Monday.
Coach, can you speak to that a little bit further? We've had some other teams on that are seeing postseason success in other sports with some of their girls players. How is that beneficial to your program to have those athletes, even though they're coming in late, but to have experience going deep in that postseason, to handle the pressure? How can you harness that to benefit your program?
I've always been big on competition, and so I would rather girls be competing in that environment in another sport than just going through ball handling drills in the gym with us. I just don't think you can put a value on how just being in that competitive environment, and even without going deep into a playoff run. But now we're fortunate enough that 7 of those kids are playing in the semi-state with the chance to go to the state finals. So I think success breeds success, and that's one of the things that drew me to Floyd Central.
How large of a part of this new start for you is really an excitement, like a fresh opportunity for you?
It's great, and I don't think that I had worn out my welcome in Salem, and I definitely loved the kids and the admin and everything, but I was ready for a change, and for a change professionally as much as anything. So I'd always thought that if there was ever an opportunity at Floyd Central, that would be a job that I would really be interested in, just based on the tradition of excellence academically and athletically. So when it came open, my daughter just graduated. That's a senior last year that played for me, and she wanted to be in Salem her whole life, and so the timing was perfect to make the move. So it's I'm so excited. My kids, my wife say they've never seen me happier and just more excited for a season. So
I want to actually walk back one step, and that is when you talk about having those seven kids playing other sports, 7 young ladies playing other sports. What does that mean for those that are there and have been in the gym here the last couple of weeks? What kind of extra work can you get with them?
Well, and we're fortunate. We still have 17, that are showing up to practice every day, and so they're kind of getting a head start. I came in late. I was able to be there for the summer when it started, but we didn't have a schedule, so a lot of the girls already had other plans. I mean, we had girls that went to Maine. We had girls that went to the Vatican. We had girls that were everywhere this summer. So right. I don't know that we played a game where we were all there or had a day where we were all there. And so they're kind of getting to lay the groundwork right now. So I told them, we're really going to be counting on you guys when the other girls get back to know where we are. They're getting 2 weeks of practice in before the other ones for sure, maybe 3 weeks. So I think they're going to have a leg up. Obviously volleyball and basketball is different as far as physical demands. And so they're going to be in better shape and more ready to play on that first night.
All right.
Going into this first season at Floyd Central, what can we expect as far as a Coach Hickey style of play?
I've always loved playing fast. I want to play fast. We want to press a lot, use a lot of bodies. We've got 12 kids that legitimately deserve to play varsity basketball. So I think we can run a lot of bodies at people. We can wear them down. We want to play up-tempo on offense. We've got a lot of kids that can really score. There's some real talent there, and so far everything I've seen is it's very unselfish. So I think we can really get out and run the floor and pressure people and just play an exciting style of basketball.
All right, well, ladies, we've got Ava and Samara with us, and so let's ask them. What do you like about playing basketball in general? What's your favorite part about the game that you like?
I've always loved the fast tempo, being able to correct your mistakes while still in the game, and just honestly the adrenaline. Like, you get your blood pumping, you get going, like, it's a good time.
I think my favorite part of playing basketball is just being able to play, especially for me with the girls that I've grown up with. I've been playing with this group of seniors since we were in 4th grade, and then getting to be in all those big-time moments on the floor and just hearing, like, an eruption from the crowd after you hit a big three or make a big play or something like that. That really, I think that's my favorite part.
So my question for both of you guys, here early on in practice and even kind of going back to some of the summer work, what are some consistent points of emphasis that you hear from Coach of things that he's really wanting to hammer home and for you guys to really focus on?
I would say the big one is just playing fast and playing really, really hard. We do have a really deep bench this year, and I think I'm really excited for that, honestly. I've always loved to play, like, up in people's faces, a lot of energy. That's the most fun to watch. It's the most fun to play in, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play that way.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that one thing he's really been telling us the past couple weeks is just, like, making sure on defense we're up into people. We just put our press in a couple nights ago, so we've been really working on that, trying to hammer that down to just be up-tempo and up in people's faces on D.
Ladies, the first time you met Coach Hickey, what was your first impression?
That's a good question. Well,
a positive one.
I'm sorry. I was going to make a bald joke, actually, but I'm so sorry. No, he was very polite, very considerate, and definitely very passionate. He said that, he never wanted to, like, raise his voice at us, but that when the time came, like, he was going to get honest and we were going to have a lot of fun, but we were going to also really lock in and work really hard.
Yeah, I think that my first impression, I guess, when we met him in the locker room for the first time is that
he was just, you could tell how much he cared by just how he talked to us from the first time that he met us. And he told us immediately, the first couple of days, that, you know, he thought we really had a chance to do something special, and that you could just tell he cared for us and how passionate he was.
Coach, talk a bit about some of your peers in the building there. Athletic Director Jeff Sequeira and head basketball coach Fonzo White. What do you take from those guys?
They've been through a lot. Fonzo has just a ton of experiences in basketball and in doing different things, being part of different organizations. He actually was on staff at Franklin that recruited one of our boys at Salem years ago, Gunnar Irwin, and so he's just done a lot of things. He's been so open and helpful when it comes. He was new last year to Floyd Central 1 year, and so he was able to kind of get ahead of some things for me and say, hey, these are some things to look out for. But been very supportive. And then Jeff's great. He's there to work with you, and we got to have a lot of say. I got to have a lot of say in our schedule. We had some openings, and so he let me basically just kind of take the reins on how we wanted to fill those. So very supportive. I think the whole school has been that way so far. The parents, it's just been a great environment. Other than Ava's outlandish comments about the ball situation there.
Coach, let's talk about the schedule. So you had quite a bit of say in that, and it's not Cupcake City. There's a lot of tough ball clubs on the schedule. Anything in particular jump out?
Well, we just found out yesterday that our showcase on November 23rd, the Body Armor Showcase up at Warren Central, we're playing Crispus Attucks, who has the number 11 ranked player in the country. So she's got D1 offers from everybody. And so we're excited about that opportunity. And then we're playing up at Northridge in a holiday tournament, and there are 5 4A schools that have been traditional powerhouses over the year. And, I caught a little bit of Coach Shane's interview coming in talking about the MSC. I mean, we play basically every MSC school. Yep. So when I was there at Salem, I mean, you were talking about, 8 years, whatever it was, that somebody was in the state finals or state champions. And so that conference is killer. And then even the 1A teams that we do play, Borden's got a chance to win state title this year. And, of course, Lanesville's coming off too. So, I mean, there's never an easy night. I look at our schedule, and there's just not one that you can look and say, hey, that might be a good night for us to play some kids that maybe normally don't get to play. We're not going to see that.
And then my final question is, Ava going to have to run some extra sprints tomorrow for her comments?
So it might be, but, you get to a point in life where you just kind of accept it and move on. So I think I'm there.
Coach, appreciate you so much for joining us. All the best to you this year.
Thank you.
That's Coach Hickey. Great to meet him, head coach of Floyd Central. We'll take one more time out. We'll chat about New Washington and New Albany on the other side of this pause from Black Eye.
This second shift. This old pair of pants. This staycation. This brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer.
Looking for a career instead of a job? Want to make a difference in a child's life? Community Action of Southern Indiana's Head Start program is now hiring. They offer competitive wages, plus health, dental, and life insurance, as well as paid college tuition and retirement plans. Apply online through Indeed.com or email your resume. You can make a difference in a child's life. Community Action of Southern Indiana and Head Start, serving children and families for over 60 years.
For the area's best pre-owned vehicle prices and selection, visit Jim Butner Auto Group. Since 1955, the Jim Butner family has been Southern Indiana's top choice for reliable, trustworthy, and exceptional service. Enjoy fast and easy financing, no matter your credit history. Visit JimButnerAuto.com or stop by our showroom at 125 West Lewis and Clark Parkway in Clarksville. Discover why Jim Butner Auto Group is striving to serve you better every day. Jim Butner Auto Group, your hometown family dealership since 1955.
You're busy, always on the go, and when your car needs repaired, you need it done right. At Call's Body Shop, you can make an estimate appointment to better serve you. Just call 812-949-5245 and schedule a time that fits your schedule. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and are family-owned and operated. They've been serving Southern Indiana since 1954 at 2801 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany. It's your car, and you have a choice on your repair. Call's Body Shop. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
And for the final time, we welcome you back to Boom Boss off Veterans Parkway in Jeff. Chris Labar, Andrew Grants, and Todd Carter here for the Southern Indiana Girls High School Basketball Preview. We've talked with most head coaches live. Let's talk about a few coaches that unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, Andrew. And Todd, let's talk about first New Washington, the Mustangs, coming off a solid 9-14 year, lost some close games last year, in Kirsty Holloway inside year 10.
She does an incredible job there at New Wash, and I know that they've had some close calls in the sectionals the last few years. So could this be the year that they have that breakthrough, that they finally get over that hump of those close calls? So I know just from talking to Coach that she's been putting in the work with them this summer and really emphasizing how they're going to guard. And so I'm excited to see how they progress this year.
Todd, on paper, this is a pretty experienced team. 3 seniors, Kristen Greenwell, Emily Bodoff, and Olivia Bauer.
Well, yes, exactly. Some experience coming back, and also as you look at the just how their schedule shapes up, they'll have lots of good opportunities to catch some good wins, but also build through the season to be able to head for the postseason and use that experience to build for the postseason and chances then in the sectional.
Again, Kirsty Holloway, her 10th season at New Washington, the Mustangs, 1A section 63. Let's talk, Andrew, about New Albany. You're very familiar with the Bulldog program. You coach in the same building with Shelby Glebe. This is a team that was 3-21 last year.
Yeah. The one thing I know that Coach Glebe's been really working on and trying to establish there at New Albany is a solid feeder program. Whenever she took over, it wasn't really there. She's been putting a lot of time and effort in the past few years of building those younger groups, and she's starting to see those students now get to the high school level. So I know they're very excited about the young group that they have coming in. They're excited about the returners that they have, but also to infuse some not just talent, but talent that she's developed over the last 4 or 5 years there at New Albany. I know she's very excited to get to work with them and start to see those fruits of her labor pay off.
Well, and I would also say I know she's hoping that this year she doesn't have the injury issues that she had last year, because Coach Glebe just was really, that program had so many injuries that they were really down in numbers come late season, and that really hampered them quite a bit.
Of all the jobs we've talked about in the area, I think, would you guys correct me, this may have the highest ceiling just in terms of the personnel available in the building?
I think so. It's what's interesting is you look at the last few years, the numbers have actually been kind of down, and Todd talked about the injuries, and that's really what hurt them, was that they didn't have those numbers.
Right.
But she's more than doubled those numbers now this year, and just, again, from creating that excitement with those younger groups. So I think we'll see more and more of that and that program grow here in the next few years. So, yes, as far as what the future looks like, definitely a very, very high ceiling for the Bulldogs.
Well, and I wonder, too, as the New Albany boys program, a lot of buzz about the boys program. We'll be talking about them in 2 weeks on the 13th of November for the boys preview special. But, a lot of buzz with that. And you wonder if there won't be some bleed over, especially in the youth leagues as they get out and watch both the boys and the girls, and that builds that buzz for numbers later on, right?
So Shelby Glebe, her fifth season at New Albany as the Bulldogs, 3-21 last year. We wish them the best of luck this season. Our final program tonight, Charlestown Pirates head coach Scott Matthews, his ninth season. They had a youth event tonight. He couldn't make it, but this is a very solid program, 17 wins last year.
Coach Matthews does an incredible job. I remember as a high school player, him coaching then, and so he's been around it for a long time, and they always have a very, very solid program out there at Charlestown. So they're going to continue to build off that progress that they've been making and see what kind of postseason push they can make this year.
Well, and I was going to say, I think I saw him play twice last year, and they really, they always, Charlestown plays hard, and Charlestown absolutely, you can tell that they really want to try to move the ball. They want to try to find good shots and play just a very, very well organized and a nice form of basketball. So I expect them to be good again this year.
Pair of sophomores, at least the top returning scorers, Chesney Jackson, 5'11", averaging nearly a double-double, 9 points, 10 rebounds, and Madeline Warnock, 5'6", sophomore, averaging 6 points. So a young team, but certainly very well coached. They're going to be a factor throughout the year.
That identity for Charlestown, like you said, they're known for that grit and that toughness, and you can always expect that when they take the floor.
I always say they bring their hard hat and their lunch pail. And they seem to they're going to go to work on you, and that's how they play. It's fun to watch.
Scott Matthews, again, his ninth season at Charlestown. So, guys, of all the teams that were here tonight, I think we had 6 representatives. Who stood out the most in terms of the coach, and maybe who might have the best year?
Man, there's so much potential this year in Southern Indiana. There's a lot of really good teams. I think for me, the team that I'll probably be watching the most is Borden. Borden has been right there on the cusp, and really the only thing standing in their way the last couple of years with a young group has been Lanesville. And now with Lanesville out of the way, I'm interested to see how they take that next step and go to that next level with really a good, solid group of juniors.
Well, and I'm going to say I'm interested to see what Lanesville does now in 2A, because they have certainly been all over the 1A scene, winning back-to-back state championships. But then, with everyone we had here tonight, I'm really interested. Coach Shane is so excited about this group and moving back to 3A, and he's bubbling over with it. So I guess I'm excited to see what happens there at Silver Creek. I'm also very interested to see there at the end, Coach Hickey with getting all those players back at Floyd Central, all 5 starters back, and I'm interested there.
There's a legitimate chance that the 1A state champion, the 2 and possibly Borden, maybe others, but possibly Borden as a favorite. Lanesville is a favorite in 2A. Silver Creek is a favorite in 3A. And then if you talk maybe Bedford or Jennings County in 4A that's in the local sectional here, you might have all 4 state champions come right out of these sectionals here in Southern Indiana.
Could be a really good year, fun year to watch girls basketball here in Southern Indiana.
In all the teams you mentioned, I'm most captivated by Coach Sykes at Jeff. I love the 2 returning double-figure scorers, and she talks, and you know this, Coach, talked about the process, daily growth and improvement.
Yep.
Keep an eye on them this year.
Yes,
absolutely.
Be very interesting.
Agree. Yeah, and Coach Sykes really is. You can tell she has an organized mind. I know she runs her team, with that thought in mind, but she also cares about her players. You can tell that on their way in and on their way out. So they'll want to play hard for her.
It was so great to have you here tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We're not done yet with high school sports. Big game coming up on Friday, Todd, for the sectional quarterfinal position with the Providence.
That's right. Providence in sectional 48 against Forest Park, and Providence will be at home for that game, but we'll have it on IHSAA TV through the Champions Network. You can certainly get to that through the Glycod website, so you can find us there. And then we always will, we're going to try to stick with Providence if they keep winning, and so we'll see what happens, but should be a really good game Friday night. And I know we're going to have a lot of Providence faithful watching us because Providence, as we talked about, we got volleyball going on this weekend, but Providence in the state finals game in 1A soccer, and that's also Friday night at 8:30. It's kind of unfair for them to have a sectional game and be playing in a state final. So we're going to have a lot of Providence people watching us. You should watch us too.
Guys, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us. For Andrew Grants, for Todd Carter, I'm Chris LeBar, our photographer Joe O'Melian, our producer Steve Bird. Good night from Boom Boss. We'll see you next time here on Glide Guide.